Hi everyone, Bandit here. I wasn't planning on uploading a video until this weekend, but as you undoubtedly have already heard by now, we got some amazing news from Nintendo earlier today. There's a new Switch console coming later this year that's going to feature an OLED screen for some new crispy images, and a new stand, you know, for when you want to use your Switch in docked mode at your TV, but you can't because your family members are already there watching something else. And that's it. No performance upgrades. No 4K resolution, most importantly, no difference for those of us who prefer to use their Nintendo Switches docked at their TV. But don't you worry your pretty little heads one bit, because I'm here to explain to you how you shouldn't be disappointed by this, and how this might actually be a good thing, just not for the people you thought it was a good thing for. Now, before I say what I'm going to say, I'm going to take a quick moment to respond to some comments that I'm inevitably going to get down there. No, I'm not just shilling for Nintendo or trying to defend their blatant anti-consumer practices. Well, maybe I am, but it doesn't matter because in this circumstance, I'm right anyway. Fans were not super happy across the board at this announcement. In fact, a lot of them were disappointed. And this is because our hopes and expectations for a new console from Nintendo were not met. Now, let me ask you a question. Where did we get those hopes and expectations from, exactly? Not Nintendo. They did not once imply that they would give us a new console that would improve frame rate and resolution and gameplay. In fact, they didn't once imply that there was a new console in existence at all. That all, in its entirety, 100% came from rumors and leaks and people in the know. See, year after year, I sit back and watch as expectations are set unrealistically by fans trying to hype up something, be it a console or a video game. And every single time that people expect something unrealistically, disappointment is bound to follow. Yes, it sucks, but it's not the developer's fault. It's ours. Those of us that spread false rumors and false hype, and those that believe it. Actually, the video I have planned for this weekend is actually about how that concept could have affected the sequel to Breath of the Wild, so you're gonna want to stick around for that one. But anyway, to those of us that are upset over this OLED model Switch announcement, those negative emotions shouldn't be aimed at Nintendo. They should be aimed at every rumor feeder that posted a 4K leak on Twitter or used 60 FPS in their YouTube thumbnails. They created this situation, not Nintendo. And I'm not trying to offend anyone here. Like I said, I'm just telling the truth. Yes, this means that Nintendo is falling behind in the next gen race, but to be honest with you, I don't think they were ever in that race to begin with. I think that's something that we care a lot more about than Nintendo themselves does. But there's an even bigger question here to ask that encompasses everything from the first rumors all the way up until the announcement this morning. And that is why? Why would Nintendo create a new version of the Switch console that's barely any better than the first one and only tailored towards people who play in handheld? I mean, even the price reflects that it's a mediocre upgrade, only being $50 more than the original version. In my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I don't think Nintendo made this new OLED console for those of us who already have Switches. I think they made it for the people who haven't purchased a Switch yet, or maybe have only had a Switch Lite up until now. Here's why I think so. Have you checked the sales numbers recently for Nintendo's best-selling consoles? This may or may not be news to you, but the Nintendo Wii, as popular as it was, is not Nintendo's most popular console. It's the Nintendo DS, if you include the entire DS family, so the DS, the DS Lite, the 3DS, the new Super 3DS, 4-dimensional, whatever. Point is, Nintendo's handheld consoles are far and away essentially the best-selling consoles of all time, only outranked very slightly by the PlayStation 2. Whether we like it or not, this is honestly a pretty smart move from Nintendo, who are clearly trying to tap into that enormous handheld buyer market. I mean, that is literally the only reason that I can think of that they would release a new edition of the Switch that only improves handheld mode functionality. People who don't have a Switch but did buy things like the DS or 3DS in the past, of which there are at least 70 million potential buyers, by the way, and people who have been enjoying Switch games on the Switch Lite so far but really want the full Switch experience, will fall in love with the new improved screen and stand on the OLED model. And even for people who don't already own a Nintendo console. I mean, I personally know an entire family who has gone this entire time without owning a Switch, Lite or not, but yet they're gonna buy this one because it's slightly better than the original. It's updated. Even if it's tiny, an upgrade is still an upgrade. Is this the best news ever for we, the current full model Nintendo Switch owners? No, but I don't think it was made for us. Anyway, please don't take this video as advice on whether or not to buy the new console. I personally could not care less on how the OLED model performs in sales. Just being honest, I'm probably not going to pick it up personally. I just wanted to share my thoughts in this video about all the passionate responses that I've been seeing from fans regarding today's announcement. Anyway, that's it for this impromptu video. If you agree with my point of view, or if you just feel like being nice, please leave a like below, as that will help spread this video to others who potentially need to hear it. And of course, make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already for all the awesome Nintendo stuff to come, including that Breath of the Wild sequel video I have coming out this weekend. As always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. This is Mass Nintendo Bandit, looking forward to seeing you in the next one, and signing out. Peace!